Where's Jake?
Yeah. That's my new entrance music. And my new entrance that I'm going to do every single week for the Premier League video cast. Add a bit of spice to my life and everyone's who's watching.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's a whole new world.
Oh no, I've done this totally wrong. I've got it all in the wrong order.
But you walked on it in a fun way.
Yeah. Didn't prepare at all. We were in profit last week, weren't we?
Absolutely. 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4, we're massively in profit.
Yep.
As usual, back on track.
Back on the wagon.
Blip a week before.
Yep, that's it.
How good?
So yeah, on to this week where we start with Chelsea versus Everton. The only game on Saturday because we've got 1 on Saturday and 3 on Sunday.
Such a strange set of games, time-wise. Chelsea-Everton, huge game. Absolutely massive game. Everton back to form last time. Lukaku anytime. Just bet on that and you'll be a very rich person.
Absolutely. And playing against his former team.
I
do like to back players to score against their former sides, as I did on Monday night with Wilfred Bonney.
Yes.
And he scored for me after 3 minutes.
Hasn't scored all season. Scored about 20 goals against Swansea. Chelsea also been playing fantastically well recently with the new formation.
Yep.
Hazard back to his best, pretty much, I'd say.
Get him in your dream team.
Costa, I need to get him in my team. But Aguero's given me a bit of a headache because he's been really good recently again, hasn't he?
Yep.
Since he's been playing, since he's been starting. But anyway, who are the favourites? Obviously Chelsea, but are they big favourites or not?
Fairly big favourites, Jake. Yeah. Best price here of 4 to 7 if you fancy them to win this game. They've now won 4 matches on the bounce in the Premier League. They've kept clean sheets in all of those matches as well, including against Southampton, which we tipped last week when we said both teams to score no, and that came in for us nicely, 23 to 20. And also Chelsea have got a fantastic record against Everton in this fixture. It's 21 matches at Stamford Bridge now since Everton have won a game. 1994.
Who's playing in 1994? Who's top goal scorer in 1994?
Probably Alan Shearer, wasn't it?
Almost definitely. Was he playing for Blackburn then? Or?
Yeah, I think he was, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everton just can't win this game, including last season when they were winning 3-2 until the 97th minute, and then John Terry cropped up with the 97th minute equaliser to keep this run alive of 21 matches now that Everton cannot win at Stamford Bridge. But if you do fancy them, they're a best price here of 11 to 2, or you can back them in the draw mark for a draw in the full-time result market at 17 to 5. So those are other prices for the full-time result market. But I'm going back to an old favourite, Jake.
Okay.
Chelsea to win and both teams to score. I do like this market and it tends to do fairly well for me.
Can't believe you're not doing Lukaku to score any time.
Well, you know, you can't do it every week.
You can. You can.
Poor Everton just can't catch a break at Stamford Bridge at the moment. Chelsea have got a great squad, and of course, after last season's travesty, they no longer have any midweek excursions in the Champions League, so they've got plenty of time to commit to these Premier League games, and it's really working for them at the moment. So I do fancy them to beat Everton here. Chelsea have kept 4 clean sheets in a row in the Premier League. But Chelsea have an excellent attack, and they're sure to offer plenty of counter-attacking threat with the likes of Balassi, Morales and Lukaku, as you've pointed out. They've only failed to score in 1 of their away games so far this season, so I do think that they'll score against Chelsea, even though Chelsea are defensively doing pretty well in the last few Premier League games. Although, in amongst those 4 clean sheets in the Premier League, they did concede 2 against West Ham in the Cup, so they are fallible. And I think both teams to score and Chelsea to win here, 21 to 10 is a decent price.
That's a good price. Above 2 to 1. It's pretty good. What do you think of Chelsea's chances to win the league this season?
Decent. I think that it's going to be between City, Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea.
Okay.
I'm discounting Tottenham.
I
always do.
Say that's a pretty broad.
I just always do.
Out of those teams, come on. Put your name. 2 teams out of those 4.
I'm going to go for Man City and Liverpool to be 1 and 2.
Ooh, they haven't got Gerrard to slip over this time either.
I know, right?
So maybe they'll do it. Have you got any anytime goal scorer price differences
I've got
here?
a big one for you in this one.
Oh, good. Big centre back.
We've got big centre back.
Yeah.
Wales captain Ashley Williams. Worst price 12 to 1. Best price 25 to 1. What a huge difference thanks to easyodds.com.
That is outrageous. That is ridiculous.
Of course, he comes up for corners, and as West Ham proved against Chelsea, sometimes you can score from set pieces against Chelsea. So 25 to 1 compared to 12 to 1, that's an absolutely huge difference in price. I'm not necessarily saying to back it because it will definitely happen, but just pointing out that the price differentiation there is massive.
And he's a big centre back.
And he's a big centre back, which I love.
Okay. Early game on Sunday. Very early, due to the do not drink. I mean, do they just? I guarantee there'll be a couple of people breaking the. I don't care if it's on at noon. I'm going to be absolutely slaughtered for that noon game. I'm going to start drinking at 7 a.m.
Absolutely.
Arsenal versus Spurs, one of the biggest derbies in the country. North London, they absolutely hate each other up there, don't they? But Arsenal obviously should be favourites here. Are they big favourites or?
They certainly are favourites, but they're not anywhere as short as Chelsea are to win their game against Everton. They're even price here to win this game up against Tottenham. Arsenal, of course, in far better form than Tottenham in recent weeks. Gunners bounced back from a disappointing draw against Middlesbrough in the Premier League with a big win against Sunderland and then a last-minute win at Ludogorets in the Champions League thanks to an absolutely beautiful goal from Mesut Ozil. So they'll be hoping to put one over their rivals here. Tottenham, on the other hand, have been really hit by injuries in recent weeks. They are now winless in their last 6 games, and they've actually only scored 3 goals in those 6 games. So the loss of Harry Kane was absolutely massive for them in the past few weeks. And for those reasons, Spurs are as big as 10-3 to win this North London derby, if you fancy them. Or you can take the even money on Arsenal to win, which is my recommended bet. I do think Arsenal are going to win this game. No Tottenham manager has gone 5 games unbeaten in the North London derby ever. Pochettino's on 4 at the moment. But I do think that run will continue, and he won't quite reach the golden egg of 5 games unbeaten in the North London derby. And I do think that Arsenal are firm favourites here, and even money is a decent price. Tottenham's defence has maintained their form in recent weeks, as the loss of Harry Kane has been huge for Tottenham, and they're just failing to score goals. And there are rumours that he will return for this game, but with such a big injury list at the moment, it looks like Dembele might be out of this game as well, which is huge for Arsenal fans. Massive. They'll be happy with that. Arsenal will be smelling blood. They got home advantage, of course. And Tottenham have only scored 2 goals in the last 4 visits at the Emirates Stadium. With their attack so goal shy at the moment, they'll be relying on their admittedly stellar defence for this game. But I do think that Arsenal will outscore Tottenham, even though Middlesbrough proved that you can be resolute and keep Arsenal out of the Emirates. I do think that after scoring 7 goals in the last 2 games, Arsenal are going to be firing on all cylinders, and they're just going to outscore Tottenham. And I think the price of even money is pretty decent.
Yeah, that is a good price. I would say they're most likely to win. I would definitely be leaving this game alone. I'll be leaving this game alone and the Chelsea Everton game. An absolute minefield. But derbies are just volatile. Can't do it.
Absolutely.
Any centre backs for the anytime?
Absolutely. We've got French international Laurent Koscielny here. He's already scored twice this season, and he's a worst price of 6-1, and you can almost double that and get 12-1. But no, you can just shy of it and get 11-1 compared to 6-1, which is again massive, absolutely huge.
He scores a couple of goals, Koscielny.
Yeah, he scores overhead kicks apparently.
Yeah, he likes overhead kicks. Here's one for you and you. I did this poll on Twitter the other day after the Champions League game, after Ozil and De Bruyne was so good. Who would you rather have in your side? Obviously slightly different players, but pretty much the same position. De Bruyne or Ozil? It was pretty close. De Bruyne won, but it was quite close.
Yeah, that is a... De Bruyne is not as aesthetically pleasing, is it? As Ozil. Ozil's...
I think he's more aesthetically pleasing than some people think, though.
He is very technically gifted.
Yeah.
I always think that De Bruyne is kind of a even better version than Lampard.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's kind of a perfect version of Frank.
You were going to get slaughtered, Chelsea fans. What did you just say about Frank? Never denounce Frank's name.
And they could have had him, but they sold him.
Fat Frank. That's what I call him. Next game is Liverpool versus Watford. Liverpool at home, so I'm assuming they're favourites, seeing as they've been pretty unbelievable so far this season. So what are the odds? They must be pretty short, actually.
They're really, really short here. They're best price of 3-10, Jake. Of course, they're favourites to win this Premier League fixture. They're now 11 games unbeaten, are Liverpool. They've won 9 of those games, and they've scored 30 goals in the process. So that's 30 goals in 11 games.
Pretty good.
So you can see why they're favourites there. Watford, though, they're doing impressively this season. They now sit in 7th place under new boss Walter Mazzari. but they've already lost to Arsenal and Chelsea this season, so that kind of proves that they kind of struggle up against the upper echelon of teams in the Premier League, which as their result proves against Man United, that Man United aren't part of that anymore.
No.
But can they handle the red hot hosts on Sunday? I'm not entirely sure they can, but if you fancy them to pull off an absolutely huge upset win, they're a best price of 11-1, or we can point out that actually that's a really good price because they are available at 9-1 elsewhere.
Okay.
So that's further proof that easyodds.com odds comparison service is a really useful service. But my recommended bet is going back to my old favourite, Liverpool to win and both teams to score.
You love it.
Whilst the attack is in full flow with the exciting Lallana, Coutinho, Firmino and Sadio Mane causing absolute havoc for any opposition that they seem to play against, unless it's the bus of Jose Mourinho or Burnley. They are scoring lots of goals, but they are far from watertight at the back. They've only kept one clean sheet in the Premier League all season long. They're either making sloppy mistakes or failing to deal with set pieces, or both, like last weekend, where Lovren was absolutely atrocious for the first goal, and then they let in a set piece in the second goal. So I do think that they'll probably concede here up against a big, strong Burnley side like Watford. That Watford will be given full training programs to set plays, I think, because that's going to be the main way that they're going to score here. Karius looks still a little bit shaky in terms of aerial balls, dealing with crosses, and with the likes of Dini and Capu, there's going to be plenty of height and strength up against him, so I think that they'll probably score, and you can get a best price of 15-8 on Liverpool to win and both teams to score.
It's not too bad. You always see these crazy hackers that have loads of both teams to score and a team to win, and they need one more team to win 450 grand or something. Are there any time goal scorer price differences in this one?
There's a return from injury for our man James Milner, who of course takes penalties for Liverpool now.
Yeah.
And he's actually played 9 games this season and scored 4 goals. James Milner.
All penalties?
I think they might. No, 3 penalties, 1 goal from open play, but 4 goals in 9. For pretty much any striker, that's not a terrible return.
Rooney would pay good money to get those kind of stats.
Absolutely. So he's a worst price of 11-5, or a best price of 4-1. And with Watford being the burly side that they are and physical side that they are, there's every chance that they could give away a penalty, and Milner will be the one to take it.
I like all of them.
4-1 on James Milner.
I like all of those bets, definitely. Might be going in on them. Boring James Milner. Good Twitter account. Last game is not the best one of the entire crop, but
has got the Premier League champions.
Has got the Premier League champions in it. Leicester versus West Brom. They're doing good in the Champions League. Leicester, aren't they? Still unbeaten.
Absolutely, yeah.
West Brom. This has got 0-0 written all over it, this game. Really has got 0-0 written all over it. Who are the favourites?
The favourites are Leicester. They're now on a run of just 1 loss in 7. Are the Foxes, and they're unbeaten in 90 minutes in all of their 8 home games this season, because of course we don't count that loss in extra time to Chelsea, because had it been a Premier League game or just a betting game, then that counts as a draw, so we're seeing that as a draw.
Okay.
So they're unbeaten in 90 in all of their 8 home games, so it can be no surprise that they're 4-5 favourites to win this game. That said, West Brom have an absolutely excellent record in this fixture. They've never lost at the King Power Stadium. They've picked up 5 wins and 2 draws in their last 7 trips to Leicester.
Okay.
But can West Brom put their poor record of recording just 2 wins all season behind them and cause a shock by being the first team to beat Leicester at the King Power Stadium this season? If you think that, they're a best price of 9-2, so that's almost 5-1, which is a pretty big price for a team playing against a side that had to play on Wednesday night, whereas of course West Brom don't play Champions League football and had a rest.
Somehow West Brom don't play Champions League. Soon they will, I'm sure of it. Maybe next season.
Yeah.
So
my recommended
that was so bad.
Pulis in the Champions League.
He would grind out a few 0-0s. he would somehow get a 1-0 win away at FC Copenhagen.
Yep.
And then he'd get through to the last 16 and then just have 11 players in goal and then win the Champions League with West Brom. Rondon, last minute error. That'd be great. Okay, carry on.
Anyway, back in the room. That dream is now over. The fact remains that Leicester are winless against the Baggies for 7 games on their home turf, and after a difficult trip to Denmark in midweek, in which they've lost their inspirational goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel. He's out for this game through injury. I do think West Brom can take something from this game. Tony Pulis' side have lost just 2 of their 6 away matches this season, and never by more than 1 goal, so they're always in the game. And I think the Baggies look a nice price here to either win or draw in the double champs market. A best price of 23 to 20. They've scored in 5 of their 6 matches away from home, and with Leicester missing Schmeichel and possibly striker Slimani here, I think West Brom have got a chance. And double chance market offers a decent price, odds against value, so 23 to 20 on West Brom not to lose this game.
Good price. Any double chance, 23 to 20, Premier League is pretty good price, I think. Any time goal scorer?
Yeah, there's the return of Chris Brunt, another player who possibly will take penalties. If not penalties, he'll also be on free kicks.
Yeah.
So he's a possible goal scorer here. And he's a worse price of 5 to 1. A price that he probably wouldn't take.
No.
But he's available at 12 to 1, which is a good price for a player with a left foot like a traction engine, as Alan Partridge would say. So yeah,
12 to 1.
Those are my 4 tips. Let's go through them again. We've got Chelsea v Everton, Chelsea to win and both teams to score. We've got Arsenal to beat Tottenham at an even price. We've got Liverpool to win and both teams to score at 15 to 8. And last but not least, we're backing West Brom in the double chance market against Leicester.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. We love it.
Okay. Okay. So, shall we move on to our final plugs?
Oh yeah, all right.
Shall we do the plug thing?
Yeah.
I think people are going to turn off now. So, don't forget.
Not have announced the plug.
Here it comes. So don't forget to sign up with FanDuel, the absolutely excellent fantasy team, which Jake has done, and I'm sure that he's raking in the money. They're offering.
I actually made money last week.
There you go.
Yeah.
Put some bets on here, make money with that. This is why we give you brilliance for free. and you can open up an account with FanDuel and they'll give you a £400 deposit bonus.
Nice.
So I would recommend doing that, which the link is available in the video underneath. And also subscribe to easyodds.com for these videos and also for horse racing tips from our man Jake Johns here. He's got tips for the Breeders' Cup, 5 selections this weekend, so make sure that once you've finished watching this video, once these plugs are over.
Yeah, starts tomorrow. I'll put a card up here so you can get to it real quick.
There you go. Watch the Breeders' Cup preview with Jake Johns. So thanks very much for watching. I've been Ross Casey and this is Jake Johns.